Mid-air collision over the Grand Canyon. There are not many workplace health and safety incidents that change not just one company's policy, but an entire industry. This historic air crash managed to change workplace health and safety procedures used by the aviation industry. On June 30th, 1956, two aircrafts, the Trans-World Airlines flight and a United Airlines flight, left Los Angeles Airport a few minutes apart but ended up colliding 90 minutes after takeoff. The collision caused the deaths of 128 people on board both planes. Locating the planes proved to be a difficult task due to the lack of location devices and standard operational measures at that time. An industry that prided itself on being an exclusive and safe mode of transportation found itself questioning previous policies. An investigation was conducted, opening up a flow of information regarding this incident and ways to improve practice. This incident will be discussed with the use of James Reason's Swiss cheese theory. There are two types of factors that are part of the model, the active and the latent. See and avoid is a system that requires pilots to avoid the potential obstacles in the air. The system failed to prevent the collision. The rules and regulations were not keeping up with the increase in commercial air travel. The industry changed and evolved only after a major incident. Airplane controls. Planes require more attention back then than they do today. The actual flying of the aircraft could have prevented the pilots from practicing see and avoid. The top-up system. A pilot could fly 1,000 feet above or 1,000 feet below the set cruising altitude. TWA changed altitude due to strong cloud cover without informing the radio controller. The air control system. Pilots did not have constant communication with air control, but instead informed radio control of their positions. The exact location of the plane was never known. The reason TWA was not at the assigned cruising altitude is because of strong cloud cover that the pilots were trying to avoid. It was a day of heavy storm clouds. If not for the weather, TWA would not have ended up at the same altitude as United. The decisions of each individual pilot to deviate from the proposed flight route causes their flight paths to cross. Even if one pilot followed the proposed flight path, they would not have collided. The passengers. The commercial air travel industry was new, and people were expecting to experience things they could not do or see on the land. There was pressure on the pilots at this time to give their passengers the best possible views and experience. The see and avoid system was a form of last resort elimination. If planes saw each other, they were expected to eliminate themselves from the situation. It is a faulty system when considering the factors that may prevent seeing and avoiding. The factors include angles of the flight paths, weather conditions, and air speeding. This is a system that is being used today. Weather cannot be eliminated, but the top-up system was in place to substitute the plane's altitude with another. A plane route altitude could be changed by a pilot if the pilot felt there was a hazard in the air. The actual physical plane is an engineered control. The way a plane is structured is to sustain itself in the air and to offer a protective barrier between the outside and the people inside. Commercial airplanes today have sensors that alert the pilot if they are too close to an object or if a plane is starting to rapidly descend. The pilot may be able to prevent the collision, but the alert may not be able to prevent the collision, but the alert is at least there to inform pilots of the situation coming. The rules and regulations at that time were administrative controls to keep the air industry safe. The pilots and the crew were required to have constant training in case of an emergency. On-the-job training was required, and the pilots had to have a compulsory number of flight hours before receiving their pilot's license. Emergency procedures, techniques, and legislations were in place to keep passengers and crews safe. Personal protective equipment. Planes were equipped with life jackets, oxygen masks, and seatbelts for the passengers and crew. Though this equipment would not have offered help to the individuals on board, they were there. Best practice systems-based incident prevention is based on occupational health and safety management. Principles of policy planning, implementation, measurement, evaluation, review, and improvement. The ICAO sets safety standards for aviation that reflect essential principles. This includes safety policy and objectives, risk management, risk assurance, and safety promotion. Radar and radio technologies don't offer the communication with and tracking aircraft. The U.S. changed technology after the incident to radio transponders and the global positioning system to reduce communication gaps. Today, there's a nationwide aircraft tracking system. Weather radar. The wind detection system was installed by all commercial airplanes as enforced by FAA. Manual training. Consistent training on the job has been proved to avoid collision. Retrieving data. Reliable data like black boxes have been put in place in order to get detailed information of any subsequent events. The next step for aviation would be to allow pilots to know locations of other pilots close by in real time. This would allow pilots to know the precise location of other planes around them. There's technology being researched and developed in this area today.